Great rise. Let's see, we live over here. Great rise, great rise, great rise, y'all. You know who it is. Sorry about that. You know what it is. It's your girl, Queen Goddess, the King Advocate. It is Melanated Monday. I'm just trying to give you all a moment because I'm right on time. So I'll give you all a moment to get in here and get yourself situated and settled in, because tonight we are starting the first of a 5-part series for the woman. It's time to heal. So I'll give you all a chance to get in here. Who's there? I see you. I see y'all coming in. Let me know who it is so I can greet you properly. Waiting on YouTube to come on in as well. If they don't. Either way, I got you here, so I appreciate you. But let me know who I'm talking to. Yeah. So like I said, tonight we are starting the first of a 5-part series, as we did for the men. This time we're doing it for the women. Woman, it's time to heal. So if you all have any questions, comments, concerns, or if you want to even share your experience, please do so. I'm going to also open the phone lines for you all to do that. Make sure you can hear me, because I had to do something with the volume. So if y'all can hear me, give me a thumbs up, at least that. I am going to open the phone lines for those of you who would like to call in and share. I would love that. That number, I'm telling you now, the number is 770-906-5271. What's going on, Keisha? I see you, loved one. I see you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Let's see if we can get, okay, there we go. We got comments. I just couldn't see nothing. So I appreciate you. Hopefully some more folks will come on in here, some more females, some women, some girls, whatever, will come on in here, and so we can start this process. Like I said, as we have done for our men, it's time that we do the same for ourselves. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for being here. I think I just invited you in. If I did, you can come in if you want to. No, don't worry about that. So I'm going to give folks a little bit more time. Erica, what's going on, loved one? Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Again, just reminding people as you come in that tonight we are starting the first of a 5-part series for the woman. It's time to heal. As a woman, having experienced many pains, many traumas and dramas in life, it's time that we learn how to heal from them, just like we've been given to the men. So I'm going to go ahead and start because y'all are here, and other people, they'll fall in. I'll repeat if necessary. You know how I do. But again, if you have any questions, or if you want to share your thoughts, comments, or concerns, you can either type it in or you can call in 770-906-5271. So as y'all know, I don't do anything as far as the going live is concerned. And so I've meditated on it. I've witnessed something happen. I've experienced it, whatever. And like I said, being a woman and having experienced a lot of emotional traumas, and then seeing how we as women are evolving, and it's really kind of a reversal evolving, if you will, because of traumas, is more than necessary for us to figure out what the fuck, right? And how to move forward. And as women, we are often told, and we're going to do some history too. I'm just trying to figure out like how I'm going to break it up, but some history is going to be in there also. But we're told to just be strong. We're taught to be strong, to just, handle some things, those emotional things that we go through. And as a strong woman myself, sometimes we just don't want to be that way. What's going on, Dar El Judah Ali, Ben Yisrael? What's going on, Ike? You said I'll be here for the opening remarks, but I ain't gonna watch y'all's undies. Ain't no undies. You so silly. Stick around, because it might be something that you can either input or that you get some information from, and give you a little bit more insight on your sisters. So please stick around. We love you. What's going on, Pratt? Thank you, loved one, for being here. I definitely appreciate you. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to start historically, as we did with the men. We do it during written slave time, okay? And again, it always goes back to Willie Lynch. How you gonna say great show already? You a trip. Nonetheless, I appreciate it. Willie Lynch programming. And the Willie Lynch programming was made to break up the household. It was made to break the man and cause the woman to be dependent on anybody other than her man. It was made to put her in a different position where at the time she depended upon her man, to be the man, to take care of the household, to bring the things into the household, to lay down the rules and laws and, whatever, respectfully, of course, but he brought discipline to the household. During the written times of slavery, according to Willie Lynch, there was a program instituted into how to make a slave, how to break the black man, how to get him out of the house, how to make the woman more submissive to the master as opposed to her husband, how to cause her to be the mate to the brute, where she was giving birth to multiple children from multiple men, but basically surrendering them to master. They became master's children. I'm starting with that history because a certain psychological thing happened to women at that time. So because the woman was used to the man being in the household and basically following his lead, if you will, they worked together. Don't get me wrong, they worked together. There was a certain kind of respect, certain level of respect and admiration and honor and whatever you want to call it, that went along with the black woman and her man. What Willie Lynch did, what's going on, Lamaro? What's going on, Marky? Thank you for being here, loved one. What the Willie Lynch programming did was cause the roles, if you will, to shift. So where the woman would stand, let's say, by her man, she's now being put in a position to be in front of him in order to protect him, because Massa said so, because Massa was doing something horrible physically and emotionally to her man. So she's watching these things happen to her man, who is and was at the time the head of the household. He was the breadwinner, if you will. He was that, what I'm saying? He was what the slave owners, the overseers, considered to be the main source of product. They were the source of economy. Okay, if you had a physically broken man, he wasn't no good. In the field, he had to do something else or whatever. But nonetheless, the roles were switched so that the woman became no longer next to her man. She became the middleman between her man and Massa. Okay, so that kind of did some things to her emotionally, but it also put her in a very vulnerable mental state, because now she can't depend on her man. She's in a state of fear and being frozen, being abandoned, being left in a what the fuck stage, because this is the man that she knows. This is the behavior that she's used to. This is what she knows naturally. So to be taken out of her natural position and put into something unnatural and having to basically make it natural for her has always been a problem, from that point. So I'm saying that, give you just that little bit of information, because it rolls over as history continues to repeat itself. It rolls over. She's taken this mentality of not being able to depend on him because he was taken out of the house, or because he was beaten to a pulp, or because he was killed in front of her. He was ripped to shreds, literally, in front of her. She's taken on a different mentality on how she's supposed to either carry herself or run a household or behave in public, whatever the case is. She's taken on a certain masculine energy as far as her thoughts are concerned. Okay, we're only talking about the energy at this point. But because of it, it's caused her to kind of look at the man in a lesser position, because psychologically and historically, she had to become him. She had to take his space. She had to do the things that she's used to him doing. So she kind of grew into this, well, I don't need you mentality. And then we're moving in through history, we get into the women's movement. And I know I'm about to get some words, and y'all already know how I feel about your words. When they have no facts behind them, I don't care. When the women's movement occurred, and it always slips my mind the name of the movement, but nonetheless, it caused the women to be put in the position of holding down the household financially, because the men at the time were now being shipped off. They were no longer in the house. They were at war. So they were now put into the working industries. They're in the fields. They're in the warehouses. They're doing all this. They're taking care of the household because there's no choice. There's no one else there. So again, they have now developed this independent mentality. Well, I'm doing this. I don't have to do it. I don't have to depend on anybody. I can make my own. I can do for myself. I can blah, blah, blah. True enough. Now, I'm not taking nothing away, okay? Because I know I'm going to hear it. I'm not taking anything away from a self-sufficient woman, because there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, as we should be self-sufficient. There is, remember, a difference between being self-sufficient and being independent, however. So when there's a man involved and a woman says she's independent, that means she is no longer dependent upon him, but he is part of her. So there's a spiritual divide in there. There's a spiritual disconnect in that whole saying, I don't need no man. It's something ain't right. Okay, just so y'all know, it ain't right. So anyway, the mentality of the woman became a little bit more masculine, where she had to take care of everything. And she got used to that, whereby the man is now the submissive, if you will, in the relationship, because she the man. She taking care of everything. She is or has become the head of the household. So her view upon him has changed. It's been conditioned to change as well. It's deliberate that these things are happening or have happened. I want y'all to stick with me. We got callers already. Hold on a second. Hold on, G. Hold up.
I'm on the wrong line?
No, you just early. Hold on a second.
Oh, okay. I'll call back.
You can stick there. Just hold up. Okay. It just has become, she's become conditioned now to carry herself a certain way, to think a certain way, to process and move a certain way, because the man is not there. Again, I'm going to repeat. There is no problem with a self-sufficient woman. I'm not dogging women at all. Just because I am a king advocate don't mean I'm dogging us out. Y'all know that ain't the case. But you know I'm going to give you the information. I'm going to give you the facts. And I don't care about your feelings on the facts. It is what it is. In order for us to heal, we have to know the cause of the injury. We have to know what has scarred us. How did these things come about? How do we fix them? And the only way to fix them is to know what's broken, right? So I'm just going to give you that. I know this is a subject that most of us don't want to hear. We don't want to accept. And I'm good with that. I'm good with you not wanting to accept it. However, it is what it is. Okay. And we got callers all over the place. You're going to have to hold on. So let me merge you. said, yeah, hold on a second. Hold on. I think I got two of y'all on the phone, but just hold on. What's going on, Miss Carla? Thank you, loved one, for being here. And Stacy, I saw you come in, loved one. Thank you. I appreciate you. Again, so we, like I said, we have to figure out what the underlying issue is that has caused our pain. Okay. And it starts with there being a complete reversal, a brainwashing, if you will, of who we are originally, what we are created to do originally. Okay, what our quote unquote position is originally. Okay, once your identity, has been altered and changed and learned and practiced, then your original one becomes obsolete, right? Obsolete with an O. It becomes no more. I'll put it that way. Okay, it becomes no more. So we have to go back to the beginning to find out where that disconnect happened, where we lost our identity, and why we continue to carry on certain traumas that most of us don't even realize that we have. Most of us experience trauma and re-experience trauma and pass traumas down from generation to generation, having no idea that we're even doing it because we don't recognize that it's happening to us. Okay. And in order to, like I said, to get to the cure, you have to get to the root of the problem, the cause of the problem. What's going on, Misty Jones? Thank you, loved one, for being here. We got two fellas on the line already, ladies. They already on the line. We got G Walker on the phone, and then we got Sir Cedric on the line as well. What's going on, you all?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm very well. How about yourself?
Oh,
Okay. Were you called in early, so you must have something to say about this here subject matter? Or did you forget? I was live? See, now you on the spot. See how they do? I'm live, and so are you now. Okay? So you're gonna have to go ahead and say something about this here subject. So we're talking about the women's healing, as we have the 5-part series for the men. It's time to heal. We are now working with the sisters. The woman, it's time to heal. So let me ask you, since I got a man on the phone, MBJ Live, I see you, loved one. Thanks for being here. But since you're on the phone, let me ask you this. What is or are some things that you have recognized in women that you see as a common trauma?
That's directed to me?
Yeah, because you on the phone. Both of y'all, either one of y'all can answer, or both.
Well, I think the biggest one is like obvious. You know, a lot of women have a problem with men, I think, mainly because they fathers didn't help them raise them, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because they don't know how to identify with men.
Okay.
Yeah.
G, what's your thought?
Well, I'm going to give you two quick examples. I like what he said. I'm going to give you this. I would put that in the top 3.
Okay.
And like you said, you know what? There was a young lady that when I was in corporate in corrupt America, whatever the case might be, and somebody said, "Well, you want to get to know what's going on, whatever the case might be." And so I was talking to her. Me and her and some other colleagues went out, and I said, and I asked her about her social status, and she said, "I'm single." I said, "Oh, you're all blah blah blah." But then she made a statement that I really liked. She said, "I'm single, but I don't try to do the things that a man does." In other words, I have. I was going to address what you said earlier about there's a difference between being independent and interdependent. That's what I was going to say. Independent was just like what you just described. I don't need it. Interdependent means, yes, I'm doing my own thing, but I have an opening in my, I can't take the place of a woman just like a woman can't take the place of a man. You might try to step in there, but you're going to be out of order. And like you said, it's a psychological and a physiological determinant and really If you're out of order, you're out of order. You understand what I'm saying? If you try to take on the man, that I put to you this way. What makes a man, what makes a woman, has nothing to do with the body matter. Because a man is built from the inside and a woman is built from the inside. Mm-hmm. And like you say, I agree with the gentleman what he just said. And this is where it comes into play at, is that the fact that the most important thing, let's just say it like this, that parents, the most important thing, the mother's importance goes, more importance in the child's life goes without saying. But right along with that is that man, and he's just important, if not vital, because that's the first interaction with that. If he has a daughter or whatever, that she's going to see and interact with that man. If she has no interaction, just like what you just said, then she's lost. And she's going to go out there, she's always going to be, it's just like a person that's trying crack or cocaine for the first time. They always look up with that high. She always looking, you know what I'm saying? She's going from man to man or I ain't gonna say man, male to male or whatever, looking for something that she don't even know what she's looking for.
Right. That's an absolute fact. I want to carry on with that. The woman's first boyfriend or her first understanding of what love is and affection or whatever comes from her father. So what tends to happen is that as we get into relationships with men, males, boys, whatever, we are looking for characteristics that are similar to our father. Now, the question will come up, well, what happens if the father is not there? Then that's what you're going to look for in a mate. You're going to look for a man who's not going to stick around. You're going to draw a person who is not willing or able to maintain a commitment, who's not willing to or able to stay in a relationship, or one who can't be faithful. Whatever the case is, he's not going to be there. And it doesn't seem odd to you. It's normal because that's what your first experience was. We talked about a couple times, I think we might have mentioned it last week, maybe on a different, on a move unscripted on purpose. We mentioned it as far as when people get into abusive relationships, why they don't get out. And it tends to happen, they don't get out because the person who is abusing them always says, I love you. So they learn that I love you come with an ass whooping. You know what I'm saying? If you don't beat me, you don't love me. Or if you don't run away from me, if you don't leave me abandoned, you don't love me. So we have a distorted understanding of what love is. Which is why I tell you all the time, fuck your feelings, pay attention to the facts. What we know love to be ain't it. You know what I'm saying? It's not solely based on a sensation. It's based on an application of a truth. And if you don't see that, then you're not experiencing it. And that's flat out. D. May says, many don't have a father. It's a vicious cycle. Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. And that causes her first traumatic experience. And like I said, I don't mind being, transparent. I'm not going to go too transparent, but transparent enough so you can understand. Like I said, my parents, they divorced. I think I was 7 at the time. I witnessed some things earlier in my years or whatnot. My dad was always around, but he was never around for just me. So like I have other siblings, I ain't studying them. But as far as I'm concerned, I was the baby, you know what I'm saying? So I needed my dad. I needed time to just be me and him. We didn't have that time. I always had to share him with girlfriends, and then their girlfriends had kids. You know what I'm saying? So it was always that. And I'm like, what the fuck? When do I get my time with my man? You know what I'm saying? When do I get to spend my time alone with my man? Because that's my man. That's my daddy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So what I learned was, throughout relationships based on that one, would not say what I learned, but what I got used to was not being able to have the man that I love dearly to myself. So my relationships tended to be with people who either were in relationships already, some kind, or they weren't able to have a healthy relationship, or I was bouncing from one relationship to another. Some kind of way, I was always some type of third party. Now, that didn't necessarily mean that I was, engaged with people that were married, although been there, done that. just being truthful, done it. Okay. But it just meant that there was always somebody else in the picture. There was always another woman. Always. And if they were just best friends, whatever the case is, that man that I loved, his attention was going elsewhere. His time was going elsewhere. His energy was going elsewhere. I wasn't getting it. I always had to share that. So every relationship was the same way. And I just recently really realized that every relationship I've been in, there's been some interference continuously. Like I've never just been with the man and there was nobody else involved. You know what I'm saying? That's a problem for me. You know what I'm saying? So for people to come to me and, talk about, polygamous relationships and, this is and the other, well, let's do this, that. No, see, if that's what if you with that, that's on you. I don't judge nobody's, what type of relationship that they, they have with their mate. That's on y'all. That's what you agree to. I'm not sharing. I ain't with it because I don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Because at that time, growing up with that does something to a child, particularly a female child to a man. It's like, am I not worthy enough to have you by myself? Am I not worthy enough to have a man just love me the way I love him? What's wrong with me? You know what I'm saying? It was that for a long period of time. What I got to do to make you just be with me? You know what I'm saying? I lost my virginity for that same mind frame. I ain't like that nigga. But I was with him for for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? I'm being real. But it was still that same type of mentality. What I gotta do to keep you just with me? You know what I'm saying? And like I say, it wasn't that long ago that I had to realize what my relationships were like, what was common about the relationships. But I had to get to the point, I'm saying this to you women in particular, I had to get to the point that no matter if I was with somebody or not, that I knew I was worthy to be loved. So I loved me first. I had to learn to love me first in all of my ugliness, in all of my weaknesses, in all of my strengths, and everything that I like about me, and the things that I can't stand, and the things that I can change, and things that I can't do shit about. I had to learn and make a decision to love me in spite of the things that I don't like. And you have to make that same decision about yourself, no matter what your past was, no matter what you grew up in, no matter what was passed down generationally. You have the power and ability to make a conscious decision on how you will love yourself, and then that same energy will be brought to you because like attracts like. What you saying, y'all? So you said we are always challenged with things that affect us the most. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. What else we got here? Misty says, and that's where I am now. Yes, ma'am. Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all, for real. But it takes a lot. It takes a lot to really understand what that looks like. What does that feel like? What does that mean? What does it do, for real? You know what I'm saying? Because even in loving yourself, you have to hold yourself accountable for that. You are responsible to continuously love you, regardless to what your circumstances are. You're responsible for that. So if you don't give you that, you're cheating you, and you're not even allowing other people who may want to also experience that love, you're not allowing them the opportunity to, because you've cut it off for your own self. Miss Carla says, I fully agree, Kim. No one should have to share their man. Hell, everyone get bored sometimes in a relationship. Both partners need to spice it up. I'll stay single. Okay. I hear you. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, you know what? I heard. I mean, what the young lady just said. Everybody gets bored. That's again a frame of mind. Because I know everybody's different. But there's there's some generalities, and then there's some things, you know, when you get into specific people and you get into it in depth of dealing with someone on a relationship level, then that's when you get into specifics. But I just use, you know, I don't like to really expose myself, but I use my ex as an example. We were together 2 and a half years. Okay, during the first 3, 4, 5 months, I knew that she was the one. Mm-hmm. What I mean is the fact that it was real. Everything was real. But this is what I was about to say. The fact is that I said, well, I'm just gonna wait at least the whole 4 seasons to go by, the summer, winter, the spring and the fall, because I already know. You understand what I'm saying? But and I know, you know, there's different. I know I've heard different things from different people about different ways. But there's 3 things that encompass any relationship, especially between a man and a woman. There's communication, which goes with what I was saying. There's 2 types of communication: verbal and non-verbal, and then there's consideration. Mm-hmm. Saying, you know, okay, I know this person likes this, and I'm going to, engage in this because this person likes this. Right. You know, and not go in there with a defeated attitude. Then there's compromise. I don't like going to I'm just using an example or the symphony, but I know she does, so I'm gonna go to the symphony with her. Then I'm not gonna go again with a defeated attitude because I'm gonna compromise. Then when it's time for me to do something that I want, I know that she'll do the same thing. Now, what I was getting at is the fact that doing it, that you know, people say you get bored and yada. You understand? You got to understand that you can't be selfish. That's right. The thing. Hold on, G. Hold on 1 second. Okay, finish saying what you're saying. Okay. Finish saying what you were saying. You can't be selfish. You have to be selfless. Right. In other words, what I'm trying to say, the thing about it is when it to take that order, like you should gratitude is special, like what you should do, what a person should do. You sound a little muffled, G. Okay, can you hear me? Yeah, now. Can you hear me? Okay, hold on. Well, the thing about it is, what I did was, I told her that, I said, you don't worry about you. Whatever you got going on, I got it. And I'm not going to worry about me. In other words, you know what I like, you know what I don't like, blah, blah, blah. I know that you got me, I got you. Right. You understand what I'm saying? And then when you do something like that, then you become selfless. In other words, you're taking that person into consideration. When I say compromise, I don't mean compromise your integrity. I'm saying compromising the things that they like and go in there without. In other words, I'm saying it's your attitude. I got you. Like the Marquez had a song. It says your attitude, the attitude that disposes the real you. Right. Because, the thing about it is, if we had a difficult, whatever the case might be, she didn't go, she knew how to get my attention. Yeah, I hear you. A squeaky wheel gets the oil, but a quiet wheel, you don't know what to do for it. I hear you. Let me read these comments real quick. And Bonita, I saw you, loved one. Come on in. Thank you, love, for being here. I appreciate you again. Stacy says, my dad was around, but at the same time, he wasn't. What that taught me was not to accept less than I desired. I have had some bad experiences, but I never let that make me settle. Right. With that being said, the moment I got an inkling of another party, the moment I got an inkling of another party, I bowed out gracefully. No, I don't think all men are bad. No. Does that make me feel like I don't need a man? No. However, it does make me feel like I can and will handle my business on my own. I can dig it on my own until the king I deserve comes along and shares and allows me to share in that. I am valued, and so is he. And when we meet, we will be priceless. Facts. That's absolute. What's going on, Steve? I appreciate you, beloved, for being here. Leonard, what's going on, loved one? You say, what is up with all these shooting in Atlanta, and what the hell? Coming on, Atlanta is better than this. Indeed. But we are talking about women's healing tonight, love. So, if you would like to expound on what is being shared, please do. Lady, Cedric is back on the line. So did you have something that you wanted to add before I start talking again?
Yeah, I had to take that call, man, with my daughter. Her and her husband trying to do the nasty, and I was interfering.
Oh, yeah.
When she wanted to give her view on it, but she was, he kind of, messed that up.
She wanted to give her view on the nasty?
No, on the subject matter.
I'm like, what? Tell her to call me. That's
right,
a whole different
subject. Her and her husband are in the middle of something, so I was interrupted, y'all. So.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Another time.
Yeah, another time. Okay, so moving on.
I was going to let her give her view on the subject matter, that's all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she got her
daughter's
she's got a whole different view. Yeah, she's seeing something else right now, bro. Leave her alone.
Yeah. Right. Right.
She ain't studying. Yeah, so going back and moving forward,
right.
I want to say this too, that a lot of things happen in a young girl's life that she doesn't speak on, or that whole keep it in the family type shit, right? And she doesn't speak on them, be they, physical abuses, emotional abuses, whatever it is. It's very traumatic and long lasting for a female child to experience trauma and not be able to speak on it. We talked about that a little bit before. Not taken away from anybody else, but it is extremely difficult for a female child to heal from, experiences when she's young and not be able to speak on them. Especially if what has happened to her has happened because of another man. I have not had any of those types of experiences, and I'm grateful, but there are so many women who have developed a certain disliking or disregard or hatred even towards men in general because of the things that happened to them as little girls that they have not been able to speak on. You all can see, or maybe not, because it's hiding in my, there we go. You all can see that I'm wearing my stone, my blue stone again, the blue lapis lazuli. That is the stone that opens up your throat chakra. It is absolutely imperative that you speak what has happened to you. You must speak the things that are in your mind because it is causing you to respond outwardly. Sometimes with you not saying anything, in your behaviors, in your energies. When you don't speak them, it's going to come out some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll seep through your pores, whatever. It's going to do something. It's going to become evident that there's a problem. And I'm telling you women, my sisters, speak your truth. Do not allow anything that was done to you to cause you to feel so much shame or embarrassment or guilt that has nothing to do with you. Don't allow any of that to keep you silent. Your voice is your power. Exercise it. Utilize it the way you need to utilize it in order to regain your power. Speak on it. This is how you begin your healing process, is recognizing that there is a trauma, recognizing it, speaking it, then seeing what part you play in maintaining the trauma. So for things that have happened to you that you had no control over, we're not talking about that. We're not putting no blame on you at all. Okay? None at all. But if you 50 years old now and you still behave in a certain kind of way because of what happened to you when you were 5, that point, that's on you. That's a decision that you have made to hold on to the trauma that occurred to you. That is a decision. You must release that bondage out of your mind, out of your mouth, and out of your spirit so you can be completely free. You have to learn how to free yourself from your own traumas. You don't have to be quiet. If somebody tell you to be quiet, you tell them to shut the fuck up, and then you go talk to somebody that'll listen, if that be the case. But you have to get it out. It's too many times, there's so many of us that are just told, just don't say nothing, because if you say something, it's going to embarrass the family. Well, fuck the family. Where were y'all when this shit was happening to me? You know what I'm saying? There's so many times that the little girl is victimized twice, because not only did whatever happened to her directly, now she's being victimized because she needs to tell somebody. So now she's getting blamed for being a victim. That's some bullshit. It happens with the men too, but y'all segment is over. I'm just saying, for women to heal, it's like, I won't say that the processes are different, because they're not, but it's a little more, it might be a little extra step, for a woman to actually heal from her process, from her trauma, because like I said, we tend to get re-traumatized, we get re-victimized by it because we speak. It's a mind frame. Yes. You know what I'm saying? It's a mind. It's a mindset. Do not, I repeat, do not allow anyone to make you feel guilty for being a woman. Do not allow anybody to make you feel ashamed for being a woman. Do not allow anybody to take your power of being a woman away from you. No matter what has been done to you, my sister, you now have the ability and the strength and the will, I hope, to overcome these things. Make a decision not to be a victim any longer, because now you become a victim to yourself when you hold on to what first victimized you. If you're holding on to that, that means if you're still angry because somebody did something to you when you was 2, if you still hold on to that, you're making yourself a victim. That energy goes with you continuously until you release it. It goes into every relationship until you release it. This is where you have to hold yourself accountable for what you do, for what you think, for how you feel, for how you move, all of that. Hold yourself accountable. That is the greatest, and probably to me, the number one way to heal from any trauma is self-accountability. That is the power. If you all want to call in, I guess I still got room on the phone. Somebody can probably call in. 770-906-5271 is the number. 770-906-5271 is the number. Or you can just share your thoughts here with me live. Lynn John, I see you, loved one. And thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. And my girl is on time. Let me see if we got any more comments. I just say, what's up to you, Steve? Thank you, love. Just want to make sure I ain't miss nobody. And Miss Bonita White is here. Y'all still, what's going on, love? I think I spoke to you. D Mays, yes, sir. I think I got everybody. Javaris, what's going on, loved one? I appreciate you for being here. And MBJ. Okay, absolutely. So I've addressed everybody that has said anything. If y'all got something else you want to say while you on the line?
You asked the question earlier about women at this point.
Can't hear you, G. Like if you moving around or something. Yeah, go in and out.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay. I know earlier you asked about when the women kind of lose their identity as far as who they are, just being self-aware of who they are, whatever the case may be. And I'm not going to say to me, but I say roughly around the early 2000s. I mean, because there was a consciousness and awareness definitely in the 80s. There was a different kind of consciousness and awareness in the 90s. and right around the early 2000s, things I just because I've traveled so much that I've seen a lot of different young ladies from different parts of the United States and different parts of the world, where, but I'm just saying in the United States, basically, where their mentality, where they were just not as, I guess, well assured of themselves, where they didn't know who they were. They were kind of lost because that was the advent of a big birth of like you said, of missing dads or whatever the case might be. I'm not saying that's the reason. I'm just saying it was a big influx of that going on, where you had single parents and for whatever reason, whatever the case might be. But because I'm gonna give you an example of what the young ladies what they were like back in the 80s. I mean, the early 80s. I remember going out to the University of Georgia, and I was down there, and they were playing, playing the music and going on, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, they put on I think it was a Luke Skywalker song, and the girls didn't like that song that they put on. So they got off the dance floor. And there was one young lady that still was on the dance floor dancing, and the other girls said, hey, get off that floor. We ain't standing for that.
Right.
So they made the DJ change his song because he wanted the dance floor full. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I've been other places and I've seen the same thing happen. That was in the 80s. In the 90s, the same kind of thing. Because they had a oneness. Hey, we young ladies. You're not gonna call us out our name. You're not gonna do this. And if you do, you basically were done. The kind of young lady that because they had a self-assurance and awareness of who they were, and they weren't gonna, like you said about the psychological or whatever. They weren't gonna get called out of their name. Period.
Right.
Especially if hey, shorty, shorty, my name is such and such. Right. If you want to talk to me, you need to address me as such and such. Right. You see what I'm saying?
Indeed.
And they would let you know. I guess they would let you know. And guys know, what kind of females in front of them. Once you speak to them, once they speak, hey, blah blah blah. It's a way. It's a way to do everything. Just like I'm gonna give you an example. Like I was talking with a colleague of mine today. And he saw the young lady. He was like, "Yeah, man, I would say something to him, but he can't even speak to him now. He can't even speak to him now because what's gonna come back into the backflip." I said, "What do you mean?" I already knew what he's saying. But anyway, he said, "Yeah." He said, "If I speak to her, then she's gonna side mouth and say all this." And he said, "I can understand." And she said, "Listen, I just don't want to be bothered right now. Thank you for speaking." He said, "I can help it. That's cool. But to just go off and just be nasty and have a nasty disposition for no reason, that's just uncalled for." But I want to go real quick back to something you said just a minute ago about females carrying stuff on from one late relationship to the other. And the other, I seen young ladies, guys used to ask me, some of them, just throughout the years, and, hey man, blah blah blah. She thinking this way and thinking that way. I said, well, you have to find out where that's coming from. It's, you find out that, like you said, the root or the essence of where it's coming from, and you have to decipher that if you really want to talk to it. You have to decipher that and figure that out because, like you said, and it's true for the males. Is somewhat, you carry on that vicious cycle, right? And it becomes and really what you do is sabotage yourself.
Indeed.
Like you said earlier, and real quick, and I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna let it go. Like you said a minute ago, and it was very vital what you said. Not only when a young lady does it, I'm just saying because we're talking about the young ladies. Not only does a young lady sabotage yourself, you're hurting yourself. Because nobody, you got the pain or whatever else that went on in the past, whatever, but you're sabotaging yourself. Because in some ways, I used to do that. Right. With your behavior or things you said, or because you develop some type of what is the term I'm looking for? You paranoid.
It's a defense.
You're real, real defensive. Mm-hmm. Some of it may be legitimate. And mine in some way was legitimate. Some of the, but I'm just saying for the young ladies, you become defensive. It's just like, hey, how you doing? Oh, no. Wait a minute. I'm just speaking. I don't want to. I'm just speaking. You can't even speak to them. But like you said, let Mansell come in. See, that's the one lens. You got to come out of it and think for yourself. How do you think for yourself? How do you know you think for yourself? When people start really,
you're not clear. G,
huh?
You muffled.
Okay. You gotta think. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You gotta think for yourself.
Yeah.
You you pick up on other good thoughts that other, young ladies or I would say other wives or chronologically elder. What I mean by that, I don't like to call them older, but you find a young lady, they say, well, I like her characteristics. And you take a little bit from that. I like what she has going on. And you take a little bit from that. If you like it and it feels, that means that you're finding out about yourself.
Yeah.
You find out, you find out how to be a lady from a lady, not from a trainer. You find out how to be a woman from a woman, not from a female.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that. Like that's not tonight's part, but
okay, I'm sorry.
No, you fine because I'm gonna go into it because it's a lot of things that we as women have been taught to accept as this is what we're supposed to do, not understand or not overstanding that these teachings are coming from white supremacist men. So we're gonna talk about that as well. Like that's part of the healing. And I will say this part to you all, not specifically or directly, I should say, there are certain behaviors that our men have taken on that they have also been taught by white supremacist men generationally. And a lot of times what happens with women, like you all will see us or deem us to be bitches in certain behaviors or whatnot, because you're not understanding why we're responding a certain way. I'm gonna see if I can pull this other person in too. Hold on a second. You're not understanding where it's coming from. Who am I speaking with? Who's on the phone?
This is Keisha.
Hi, Keisha. Hold on a second, girl. So you all are not understanding where all this so-called bitchiness is coming from. It's certain things that women, there are some things that we resent you all for, okay?
Right.
And y'all don't understand that. You don't know that that's what it is. And a lot of times the woman herself doesn't consciously know why she resents you. She just knows that she does. A lot of that is based on historical events that have been either taught or generationally passed down through the trauma that was never healed. There is an expectation for you all to be the quote unquote savior. There is an expectation for you all to be leaders, to be the head, to be the protectors, to be the providers, to be the daddy, if you will. There is an expectation of that. So when you all don't do that, when you slack off in any area, you're gonna get what you perceive us to be as the bitch. But it's not us being bitches. It's about us seeing what's not there and you not recognizing that it's not there. You're not giving us what we don't have, even though sometimes we don't even know exactly what it is that we don't have. We just know we ain't getting it. You know what I'm saying? We can't tell you what's missing, but we know something is missing. And for you not to know what's missing or to feel that void, we got a problem with that because you're supposed to know, because we're connected that way. We are one. But there is a disconnect, and some of that disconnect now is by choice, because there's so many ways that you can learn how to stay connected, how to reconnect, how to start a connection, whatever it is. But there's a mentality of she just crazy, she a bitch, she a hoe, fuck her, I ain't got time, that's her problem, she whatever. I'm walking away. That's a brute mentality. Hit it and quit it. It's a brute mentality, whether it's a physical hit it and quit it, an emotional hit it and quit it, a financial hit it and quit it, a spiritual hit it and quit it. A hit it and quit it is a hit it and quit it. That means there's nothing else attached. You got in, got what you gonna get, and got the hell on. And then you left her stranded in a certain position all the way around. What's she supposed to do with that? There's nowhere for her to go. And then you tell her to shut up. She can't speak on it. What is she supposed to do with that? This is generationally, not just right now, not just the girl that you just met last week, or the one that you talked to last month, or the one that you married 5 years ago, or whatever. This is going on generationally. It's never been addressed, one, because of the whole keep your mouth shut. So because it's never been addressed, it's never been healed. It's never been dealt with. It carries on. So when you talk about a woman, because we hear the whole angry black woman syndrome all the time, yeah, that shit's real. but it's not because of what you think. You know what I'm saying? It's not because of what you think.
Correct, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's because of other things that you don't even have a clue of. And a lot of times y'all don't have a clue because you don't even bother to ask. You only go off of what you see. What you see ain't the problem. What you see is a result of the problem. Now dig the roots. Figure out what's really going on. How did the root grow? What kind of soil is that tree even grounded in? Because it don't have to just be the root. It's the soil that the root is in. But y'all don't dig that far. Because all you want is what's hanging off the limbs. You just want what's coming off the leaves. What's falling to the ground as fruit. You just want that part. But it's way more than that. Y'all know I ain't dogging you, but you know what this is. We got to heal our women. We got to heal our men. We got to heal as a people. And again, the only way to do this healing is to find out the cause of the sickness, to acknowledge that there is a sickness, but it's a taught sickness. It's taught. All we need to do is unlearn what we've been taught and remember what we know. This is how we start our process of healing. It's always about acknowledgement. Acknowledge the problem, acknowledge the sickness, acknowledge the root, acknowledge the cause. Then speak on that. You have to get that out of your head and release out of your throat, out of your mouth. Release that energy. Then hold yourself accountable. What part in that do you play now when the trauma happened 15 years ago? Why are you still affected by that? Because you're still holding on to that. It's no longer just an affection, it's an infection. Because now every relationship you get into, you are now passing that virus to the next one. So you are infecting everybody that has called, you're infecting everybody that you get in contact with because you refuse to let go of what cut you in the first damn place. You know that knife gonna cut your fingers off. Why are you holding it by the blade? But this is what happens. This is what we do on a regular basis. We have not healed at all. We have learned to deal with. We have learned to become strong women. We have learned to be resilient and bounce back. But guess what, my brothers? Sometimes we just don't want to have to. We don't want to be strong women. We don't want to have to be resilient. We don't want to have to bounce back. We don't want to have to hide our tears. We don't want to have to act like ain't shit wrong. We want to tell you shit is wrong. Shit is wrong. I feel some kind of way. I'm in my feelings. I'm in them. I'm in my feelings. Fuck a fact right now. Okay? And I'm just saying, if that's where you at, if that's where you're at, it needs to be allowed to be expressed, and not just expressed, but do something about it. Don't just hear it. Do something about it. Y'all don't understand how much of our healing depends on your willingness to help us heal. When you walk away from us, when you are the main cause of the trauma and you walk away, where do you think that goes? How do we recover from that? Because it's daddy caused this problem. Daddy did this. Now every man I look at is going to remind me of daddy, or got to have daddy characteristics, but daddy wasn't shit. So every man that I get involved with ain't going to be shit. And he going to walk away when I explain to him why he ain't shit. I'm telling you, I need you to be different. I'm telling you, I need you to help me. I'm asking for your help. My hand is out for you to grab hold of it and pull me out of this dirt. I reached my hand up because I'm willing to come out. But if you walk away from me because you don't want to get your hands accidentally dirty when you grab hold of mine, what's going to happen to me? What happens to us if you walk away? Because y'all mad, because you in your feelings, because you don't want to hear it, or because you don't know what to do. Whatever the case is, we don't know what to do. So it can't be nothing wrong when you do something. Just do something. And walk away cannot be an option. Turning your back cannot be an option. Seeking somebody else cannot be an option. Closing your eyes cannot be an option. Turning your deaf ear to us cannot be an option. Shutting your mouth cannot be an option. Saying it ain't mine can't be an option. Hello? The things that you are taught to do can no longer be options if we are going to heal at all. They cannot be on the table anymore. And woman, you cannot allow these things to be brought to your table anymore because they are not nutrition. There's no nutrition in it. You can't be fed off of it. You can't eat from that. You can't grow from that. You can't heal from that. You can't even build with the shit that's being brought to the table. They bringing rotten ass wood to a table. What you gonna do with that? What you gonna do with it? I'm being honest. Y'all know what y'all know. I'm just being honest. I'm being real. Because I'm tired of us hurting. I'm tired of watching us crumble as individuals, as women, as men, as a collective, as a family. I'm tired. Right now, I'm holding tears back right now. They probably gonna come out, and if they do that, just be there. But I'm tired of it. I'm tired of hearing this nigga ain't shit. I'm tired of hearing this bitch ain't. I'm tired. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of women thinking it's okay to even be called bitches by other women.
Oh,
What you about to
say that? Yeah. And Kim, also,
yes.
Also, you on fire, young lady. I love that too. Also, I'd like to say, along with that, when the young ladies get out here and they as they call it, they don't understand it's a psychological thing. They're calling your girlfriend or whoever else these roles, because even though you might not act like one, you're still gonna take on the facsimile of that. What you say, what you're calling out in the atmosphere, and you're not gonna see yourself in the highest form that you could see yourself in.
Yeah, can I say something right quick?
Yes, please. Yes.
Listen. I'm gonna represent the good brothers out here who did hold it down, who did protect their daughters, who did put in the time, the hours, the years, and who raised their family and did what they were supposed to do and loved it.
Right.
I'm gonna apologize for the men out there who fit this description you're putting out here, because it's embarrassing for me. It's a shame to hear it with such passion coming from somebody that, I guess you done lived this, and you got a lot of women that live this.
Right.
And I'm trying to understand it. I really can't really understand it. I saw my daughters come out, each one of them get born, and I protected them. I still do. And they 35, 33 years old, 25 years old. And they still call me daddy. They still want daddy's protection. They still want daddy to fix things. And it scares me when I hear about the stories that they tell me about their friends, or back when their little girlfriends, when they used to play at the house, and now they're grown women and they still look at me like they stepdaddy because they didn't get the support at home, or they went through some type of abuse at the house, and my house was the shelter for them.
Right.
And now that they grown women and got kids, they still looking at me as that strong man that was in their life. And I never went into the details with them about what was going on. They were little kids,
right?
5, 6, 7 years old. If a little girl comes to your house and it's 5, 6, 7 of them, they're going through something at their house, that's really not my business. But that child is going to be taken care of if they're around. My house was like one of the places, me and my wife at the time, I like one of the places where, they could come. And it was little Debbie's. I mean, they all had their routine.
Right.
And it was normal.
Right.
So I never saw this what you described in my 30 plus years of, raising family, my 3 daughters and now my 15 grandkids.
Right.
But a man not taking responsibility, I have to apologize to these brothers, and they need to be ashamed of themselves. You got to start with the man. The man is the head. It's ordained by God. Period. And it's not just the girls; it's the boys too.
Yeah.
I'm talking about boys. The same thing. You respect women. My brothers, they don't jump on girls. They don't. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff. They don't do these things that you guys are describing, and it's like, dang.
Yeah.
And me and Kim done talked about that too, because I'm 56 years old and I'm still going through things where I meet women who have this stuff and I don't get it.
Right.
It's like I'm like in the Twilight Zone. I don't understand that.
Right.
I'm going to treat you with respect for real.
Right.
And once I prove myself under your standards, then what? Once you find out I'm that dude that did hold it down and all of that, then what?
Can I speak, Kim?
Yes, please do. Indeed.
That's the problem I run into.
I hear you. Go ahead, Keisha.
May I speak, Kim?
Yes, go ahead, Keisha.
Well, he's saying he's running into them because a lot of women, I can say myself into some of the stuff that Kim said. I was over here jumping for joy when she was talking, because I was going to say that about when I used to be in New York and you don't speak to certain people, you get called that. I don't curse, so you get called a B-word, you get cursed, you get cursed out. They be like, you think you all that, you ain't all that. Then they talk about it. Then you get the ones that they'll praise you and come up to you and be talking all nice in the beginning. And when you don't want to entertain them, you become another person too. They switch right. They switch on you.
Absolutely.
Right. After you don't say nothing to them, then you're the ugliest person. They become the ugliest person, but they was nice in the beginning. Right. So we get confused. Women get confused because you still come as a nice brother in the beginning, but then I say I got a man, or I'm not interested. Oh, you ain't all that anyway. Exactly. So how do we know?
That's a control freak. Yeah, that's the ego.
Yeah. That happens a lot.
So that's confusing young ladies.
That happens a lot.
You don't know which one is good or not. You got the ones that come up all hard in the beginning. Then you got the ones that come up all soft, but talk to you all nice. But that's
where daddy comes in again.
Yeah. Right.
I've always ran that interference. They'll run a dude by me before and that would tell them which way to go with that particular guy. I would talk to him maybe 2 minutes, and I could tell him exactly what it was, what he is.
Right. This is the first person though. In the street, they come up as a good boy and a good person, but then that as you just say, I'm not interested. It turns to another person. Yeah, absolutely. And you're not no good, or you're not this.
Run from a guy like that.
Daddy's not there.
But run from a guy like that.
See, that's what's been happening to us. We get another person in the beginning. They be all good. Like I'm gonna be transparent. I got abused by my one of my relationships. I had a gun put to my head in one of my relationships. But they started off all nice and calm. But when they got caught cheating and I was leaving, they didn't want me to leave. So I got told in the beginning, this how it started. I was sitting on the couch. He said, sit down, let me talk to you. But you on the phone with another woman. And I'm leaving because you're on the phone with another woman. So you want me to stay there and listen to you on the phone with another woman?
Wow.
So I was trying to leave. He was like, no, sit down. I love you. And he started with, I love you. He put his hand on my chin. It went from my chin to my throat.
Yeah.
Choking me.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. It to me, it started off all nice. I love you, this and this, and then you on top of me. That was my first incident with somebody abusing me. And
Wow.
He was already abusing you from day one, sweetie.
Right.
He was abusing you out of his mouth.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. A man can recognize another clown very fast.
Exactly.
Like instantly. You women, y'all give us too much leeway with that. And I'm very strict with my daughters in that regard. That's why they don't even trust their own thoughts about a dude. They'll run him by daddy. Daddy gonna give me the blood raw about this clown. Now they can pursue this if they want to, but understanding if you deal with this clown, do not let your feelings get involved with this. He's a control freak. He's gonna manipulate you. He's gonna jack you. He's gonna do whatever.
Right.
Yes,
I'm just warning you. That's what I do with my daughters. I always have. I still do. They 35, 36 years old.
Okay.
Right.
You know? So that has stopped a lot of stuff. Then I hear the story, daddy, he tried me. I know he did just like you said he was going to do. I've heard that a million times.
Right.
But men recognize, there's no way for a woman to recognize that unless she's been through a whole lot of, ups and downs in her life. But by the end, she done already been bitter. She done got bitter and had so much abuse and so much crap she done had to put up with. But we recognize those clowns like instantly. I have gotten into arguments with men who simply say, "Oh, I raised my kids. I pay child support every month." And I'm like, "Well, what about us who did it 7 days a week, 365? What the fuck are we chopped liver?"
Right.
Exactly. So you think you're supposed to get some kind of
cookie
pat on the back because you pay child support? Get the fuck out of here, man. You're a clown. You're a clown to a real man.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay, can I ask you something?
Don't get it twisted. What's that?
Can I ask you something? I had this, now that happened to me, I asked me a question like, do you hang with people that you seen abuse a family member, abuse somebody? See, I asked that question to see what they would say. Okay. That's how I get to the point. Because I know for my thing, people told me if I can't help you, nobody else would. That's the ones I went to. I had several of them. And I had to realize I was picking them. Right. Like Kim said, we picked them. She had to learn, and I had to learn. I was picking them kind of me. Right. But I have learned that to ask questions. Like she said, you got to ask questions in the beginning. But how do we, as a woman, get over that? And when we see the part that somebody doing, like if somebody doing something similar to that person, we run, but then y'all call us out of our name. Or y'all say, "Oh, she just left me."
We're very simple. We're very simple. Men are very simple. Okay, we're not complicated like y'all are. We're very freaking simple. If a man wants you for real, if he sincerely has feelings for you for real, he'll wait. He'll do whatever he needs to do to please you, whatever that is, because he wants to be with you. Right. Period. If he just shows anything else, it's a manipulation. He's a liar. Right. Right. He's trying to do some control freak shit and all the other stuff that come with that. When a man cares about a woman, there's no compromising. He'll jump over all kinds of things. He'll work 10 jobs. He'll do what the hell he got to do to make sure his wife and his woman is straight. Period.
So
there's no compromising that. If you settle for anything less, then it is what it is.
With you saying that, let me say this too. Now, first of all, let me thank you, and G, I know you are the same type of man. So let me first thank the two of you for being the men that you are, for being a representation of man of what God would look like in masculine in form. Okay, let me say it that way. What God looked like in form. That's it. So thank you for that.
May I say something real quick?
Real quick, because I ain't finished, but go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, all I was going to say was piggyback on what he just said. The thing about it is, he's exactly right. Because, you know, any young lady that I had dealt with, I'm just saying, on that degree, when I was in a relationship with or whatever, I didn't want her to, I use my last ex as an example. When it came, like this, say, for example, let me just say this. Some women, these young ladies they're not designed to deal with certain things. My thing, I'm giving you an example. Like my ex, she was having some trouble with a bill, and they were calling her, bothering her or whatever. I could tell they was bothering her. They see the look on her face. But anyway, real quick, what I did was I said, give me the number. I called the person. I told the dude, I said, listen, man, this is my girl, man. If she got a problem, I got a problem. I don't need to see her. You don't see the look on her face. I do. I said, if you got a problem with what she got going on, you call me. I gave my number. I said, don't you call her number no more, because I need to see the smile on her face. You understand what I'm saying? So, like he just said, if a man wants to be with a woman, he need that woman to smile. He want to see that woman smile. He don't want to see her do anything. He don't want to see her nothing. He ain't kind of angry. If she in school, he gonna give her some money. Get some gas for yourself, baby. You need this book. Get it, bro. Get it. Just get whatever you need, because I want to make your life as easy as possible. Because I need you to concentrate on me. I need you to concentrate on you. And he gonna make that like he gonna either make her life parallel or and let that plane take off, but he's not gonna make that plane land.
Right. He's not going to control it. See, a control free or manipulation is that's just a wrong relation. That's like run. It's like warning, run. You know, get away from it. It's not going to end. It's not going to end good for you.
Right. So let me say my thought before I forget it, because I almost forgot it just that quick. My question. Yeah, you good. One of my questions is, as far okay, so I see you all would be the type that would, you know, give her what she needs, show her what she needs to see or whatever. But how comfortable or learned are you in helping her heal emotionally? And I'm saying this not based on you giving her anything. Sometimes what she needs to do is be able to talk to you like you are just her friend and talk to you about the things that she went through with somebody, what her other traumas were that may involve another man. And y'all might be together, but she needs to tell you everything that she's been through with this man or the man before him and whatever, in order to get that out. How prepared are you to walk with her in that journey?
Can I speak on that, Kim?
Yeah.
Can I speak on that, please?
You certainly can.
My first wife was abused by her uncle for years. And because of our friendship, after we got married and everything, that's when I found out we were together a few years, and before she passed in a car accident. But we were so tight that she felt very comfortable telling me about that. And that I remember the trauma, and she had me crying and everything else. And I hated to do. I had done met him and everything else. I didn't know he had did that to her. But after that conversation, after I saw him again, I wanted to knock the hell out of him, his ass and all of that. You know what I'm saying? But the point is, how I dealt with it and how we dealt with it. She felt close enough to me to express it, share it, and I felt. I feel like this. When they say whatever somebody's thinking, you think it too. That's how we were. We weren't just husband and wife; we was friends too. Right.
And so, that's missing a lot in our relationships is being able to be friends. You know what I'm saying? Like just that. You don't have to, be sexually involved with somebody to be in the most intimate relationship ever. That's like. So when she, go ahead. Yeah, when she went into that with me, I was very surprised because she was so strong about dealing with that. As a little girl and then a woman and everything else. But she didn't let that trauma
interfere with me and us. You follow what I'm saying? She put that someplace else, and she saved it and shared it with me later. But I was like, wow, that made me love her even more.
Absolutely.
That made me want to protect her even more.
See, and that's what I'm talking about. Said we're gonna have a class, bro. For real. I'm gonna have UNG on these classes to help other males become men, because that's missing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is missing. A lot of these brothers out here have no idea what a man look like for real, what he sounds like, what he talks like, how he moves, how he feels, how he expresses, how he communicates. None of that. How he helps his woman heal emotionally and spiritually, even if he's the cause of her trauma. That part, that's missing. And we need that. We need you all to help us heal. Like, you all need us to help you heal. And none of this judgment, none of this throwing flame and darts at each other, none of that. We need each other to help each other heal. That's the bottom line. Let me read these comments real quick. We got a lot of comments. Let me read these real quick. Lynn John, she says, like Mary J. Blige used to say, if you look into my life, facts, she says, some of us have been hurt and might take it out on you, but some of us have or have been through pure hell. Indeed. Ms. Carla says, Black women have standards, not attitudes. We love y'all. Break the curse. I like that. She said, we got standards, not attitudes. Miss Patricia, what's going on, loved one? Thank you for being here. She says, don't even ask. Don't try to get to know the real us. She's saying that you all don't do that. Males don't do that. That y'all don't ask the questions. Or communicate very well. We know this already. What's going on, Reggie? Allison, thank you, love, for being here. I appreciate you. Belle, no, where you been? Thank you, love, for being here. I appreciate you as well. Patricia says, which means communication, instead of saying, I don't want to talk right now, right? Sometimes not wanting to talk at that moment is a good thing, sometimes, but you can't use that as the get out card all the time. You see, men also say that we are too emotional. That's also another way that y'all will avoid having to communicate, is just saying that we are too emotional. But you know what? But y'all are just as emotional. You just don't express it.
Okay.
Right. So there is no difference. We express it because that's what we got. That's where our strength is in expression. Y'all's is not there because you refuse to explore it. You know what I'm saying? Yours is in hiding it and presenting yourself to be a false man. You know, and I'm not saying everybody. I'm not saying every man.
But a woman shouldn't have to validate being a woman.
She should not.
She's supposed to be emotional.
People are emotional. People are emotional. We have them. It's energy in motion.
Everybody's emotional.
We all have them. But women, ain't it?
That's
women.
That's part of her beauty. That's part of a woman's beauty, man. It's her emotional.
Right, but women will get dogged about her feelings. She gets dogged about it. Hers is exactly. She gets talked about when she expresses hers. Exactly, but she got a reason to be angry. She got several hundreds of years.
He wants you to bow down and be submissive and be a little dog to him. And
ain't nobody doing that though.
That's why I said. But that's the problem you're running into.
Yeah,
that's what you're running into because you're strong, because you're emotional. Then he can't deal with that, or he.
But here's the thing, though, said
do what I tell you.
Part of the reason why she's that way, part of the reason why she's that strong is because she's had to be. She was put in a position to have to be. Saying, like I said, again, me being transparent, that's been me all my life. And I think I talked to you about that a couple of days ago. All my life. People look at me and see how I bounce back from certain things or don't even know what I'm going through for real, because I always got a smile on my face, or I'm always trying to give somebody else encouragement and remind them of the power and the strength that they have, so they don't see me as having no issues. Bruh, I've had issues all my damn life. A lot of them. You know what I'm saying? Certain situations that I've been in. I understand, but certain situations that I've been in, you would not know that if I didn't tell you that. But for some women, they can't say that to a man without being judged. If she tell a man she been homeless and she need a, or whatever it is, and she needs somebody that's gonna help her build and be strong and get back on her feet, he's deeming her as if she just trying to get my money. Nigga, she don't have no money. She need to be with somebody that's gonna help her get back on her feet. It's not about her trying to get your shit. She wants you to help her get her own shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not about that, but that's how she's judged.
Yeah, but what's wrong with buying her a car if she needs a car to get
Nothing is wrong with. I'm not saying anything is wrong with that. But right, like that is the only thing, and that's not the case. It's been
I'm
made.
Saying she needs it. You care about her, and she needs something. You know, I mean,
I get that.
I don't see the confusion.
That's not confusing.
Every woman not a gold digger though, but people think that.
We're not talking about a gold digger. We're simply saying I like this particular woman, and she doesn't have a car, so she can get. I'm tired of her catching the bus.
But some men, some males. Let me rephrase. Some males don't look at it that way. They receive it as she just trying to get my money. She's just trying to get something from me. That's why I rephrased the word. That's why I rephrased and said males.
He's got all kind of hang up. That's something to do with a
See, you was raised. Seems like you was raised in an environment that you learned not to act that way. But we're running into a lot of men that act that way.
Yeah, I run into them too, though. So I have arguments with grown ass men about this same subject.
So now you know what we're dealing with. What you think we're going to?
Yeah, but let's say this again. Those are not men, those are males. Yeah. You're a male by default. You're a female by default. That means you're just born that way. Right. The bottom line is, it's a certain, like you said, standards and certain criteria and characteristics that you have to identify with it. You don't have to identify with it to make you a man. Right. Like you said about rearing your kids and taking care of them, and taking care of your family, doing the things that a man does. That's when you're a man. You ain't a man just because you got a mustache, right? Or, you know, exactly. Ding-a-ling. Right. Or a female because you're a woman because you got, you know, hair around your kitty cat and all that other stuff and your breasts growing out. That'll make you a female. That'll make you a woman. Right. But make you a woman that you're natural, that you fall in, like you said, you fall into your natural state. Right. That's what I was saying earlier about my ex. I was talking to her and blah blah blah, and she came out one day. We were meeting up, and she had this outfit on. I said, "Dang, that outfit look nice." Well, yeah, she looked nice and everything, but I was like, "That outfit look nice." She said, "Yeah, you gave me the confidence to wear it." I said, "Man, that's what's up." And I just, you know, what I'm saying that's what I know. That's what y'all talking about. Just that emotional, the emotional backing. Right. You know, that she, go out and be. You know, be her fullness as a woman. Absolutely. You know, be confident and be in that woman. And because, like you say, there's things that the woman wasn't really designed. She ain't designed to be worried about taking care of no bills and all that other stuff. And I'm just saying, dealing with the bills and all that. She don't need to be frustrated. She don't need that frustration. That's what I'm trying to say. The harder things in life, that's what the man should take care of. And the female, go ahead. I agree with that. I want to say something, man. I'm going to tell you one of the biggest rewards that I used to get from my family, and it's like no words can describe it. When you come home from work, tired, can't walk, hips hurt, back hurt, head hurt, I went through all kind of hell with these thinking ass crocodile. But then my babies come running to the door as soon as I hit that door. They say, Daddy, and all run and grab me and hug on me. And all that damn pain go away. Right. My wife say, "Baby, I cooked this today, or what we gonna eat tonight, or whatever." And everything is like everything at the crib. You feel what I'm saying? The kids go off, play, and do their thing. That reward right there, just that simple thing right there, is what motivated me to keep it going the next day. Get back up, go back to them crackers and get my money to take care of my babies.
Right. And that's something that's a man. It's got to be in your blood. It's got to be in your soul and your heart. Right. It ain't got nothing to do with your wife or your kids in that sense. It ain't got nothing to do with the white folks at your job. This is what a man does. It's in his soul. Right. It's in his heart. She shouldn't have to jump through hoops trying to fit some damn bullshit to try to get him to be a man. If he ain't a man, he don't know how to be one. It'll never happen.
Okay.
It's got to be from the beginning. Just like with a little girl, a man builds his daughter's self-esteem up when she a little baby. Right. He protects her. Right. That's when she first experienced that. Right. She gonna run to daddy. She gonna want to eat everything daddy eats. She gonna want to follow daddy around. All my daughters are daddy's girls. Every last one of them. They grown ass women now, but they still daddy's girls. Okay. They still look calm. They still daddy. I need this. Daddy, I need that. But what about your husband? What about your boyfriend? Right. Well, he this and he that. And I know they can get it from them. They're not bad guys, but they just want to be able to still get it from daddy. Right. And that makes me happy too. That's what's you feel what I'm saying? Indeed. When you do it from day one all the way up, and you actually engage, and you actually create your family and make your family and put your heart and soul in your family, man, it's a beautiful fucking thing. And those damn brothers out there who refuse to do that, shame on them. I apologize for all the men who actually do put it down, and who actually did put it down, because we don't ever get, I ain't gonna say we don't ever get, but we hardly ever get mentioned. Right. Right. You get mentioned here. And I have to say that. Okay, you get mentioned right here, though. Let me finish. That's reading. All I can do for the sisters that been a messed over. I mean, I feel for y'all, man. I hear these stories. Kim be enlightening me about things that be going on. I be like, wow. Yeah. But it makes sense because of what I have to deal with now as a single person. Right. It is always amazing to me because she have to explain it because I didn't have a damn clue. I've been married most of my adult life, and this single thing is like new to me. I hear you. Well, let me finish. Let me read these comments real quick. We got a lot of them. Patricia says, you can't run from us. The next woman you run to probably has issues too. Lynn John says, is it even possible? Can our men heal themselves? Will they ever stop hurting us? That's a mess. But she also says, thank you, brother, for you being the men that you are. We appreciate that. It says, it's been hell for us a lot. Missy was referring to Cedric as far as a safe haven is concerned, so that's definitely appreciated. Pimpin', I see you, loved one. Thank you for being here. Patricia says, I like to know their relationship with their mom and sisters. Men are taught how to love women by their experience with their mothers when they grow up in single parent homes. So I guess that's a question, what your relationship is with your mom or the women in your life. I put it that way. And then Stacy says, being a man is a learned behavior, as is being a woman. However, we have to, as a people, be able to know what's right according to what we believe. If you wouldn't like it done to you, then don't do it. Is there any more? If you wouldn't like it done to you, then don't do it to another. Hold on, I'm trying to catch all these. Oh, to anyone else. I actually don't take offense to anyone calling me out of my name, not because I think that's what I am, but rather because that shows that they are not for me. See, a leopard shows his spots, and I respect that more than a chameleon that covers his true intentions. Okay, Stacy, say it, girl. Patricia says, right, get to know their mind before exploiting their body. Too many relationships start backwards. Absolutely. Pimpin' says, I raised my daughter. Her mother died when she was 2, and I was a Girl Scout leader. Oh, wow. On the school's PTA, deep into church, and kept a lot of little girls over the weekend. I do not drink, smoke, or curse. So it would take a real woman to come in our lives and pique my interest. A lot of you women out here play more games than men out there. Some do. Yeah. Not taken away from that. What's going on, Chris? Thank you for being here, loved one. He said, Lynn John, are you glad we're talking? Yes, ma'am. Thank you, love. I appreciate you. And you as well, Miss Steen. Thank you.
Lynn says, man is and was designed to provide. What's going on, Scotty Bell? Pickers. What's going on, loved one? Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Patricia says, sometimes we want to tell the man what we have been through so that y'all understand us. Sometimes afterwards, all we want is a hug and to hear you say you understand. Absolutely. Lynn John says, right, man equals provider, woman equals nurturer. Lynn says, again, thank you, brother, for speaking about your experience. You give us a glimpse of a little hope. Indeed. Stacey says, the truth is, we are so-called angry women. We so-called angry women only want for a man to understand that we too are in this struggle, right? We struggle with you.
Yes.
We struggle with you, for you, and because of you. Until this is understood, there will forever be angry women. Indeed.
Amen.
Okay, that's a fact, Jack. So, like I was saying, instead of you all getting pissed and whatever else y'all get in your feelings and decide that you're just gonna turn your back and walk away and say fuck it and whatever, do some self-introspection. How about that? Dig deeper, because we ain't mad for no reason. You know what I'm saying? We ain't angry for no reason. We're not displaying hurt for no reason. It's not that, because that's not even natural. That's not natural. Listen to it. Women are nurturers. So to be a nurturer, that means we are naturally giving. We are naturally loving. We got to naturally be in a peaceful place. Naturally. So if you coming across all these angry women, something ain't right. Something is out of balance. It's not natural. There is a disconnect somewhere. We have to learn where these disconnects are happening. We got to deal with that. We got to heal from them. We have to address them. Stop trying to throw the dirty towel on top of it and throw it up on the sink like the shit don't exist. It's still there. You know what I'm saying? Stop trying to sweep it up under the rug like you're not going to eventually trip over that pound of dirt that's up under there. It's still there. Address it for what it is. Stop lying to yourselves, first of all. Address the representative that calls himself or itself you, whatever it is. Address it. Stop lying. We ought to be tired of being lied to by other people. One, let alone while we doing it to each other. When do we ever start healing and we keep lying to each other? It's ridiculous. If you really think about all the shit that we've been through historically, just all the shit that we've been told we've been through historically, why are we at this point right now where there's any type of separation, any type of division, any type of misunderstanding, anything, any type of usury, abuse, disrespect, any of that? Why? There's no room for that. Everybody got an agenda against us. Why we got an agenda against us too? Being real. We doing the same thing to each other that we complain that keep getting done to us. But we doing it to each other. Because now we've learned it. Now it's become a habit. It's become practice behavior. It's become the norm because it's been going on for so long. Hence, the Willie Lynch programming system is still in effect 500 years later. It's still in effect. We're still doing it. This is why we're angry. This is why we're hurt. We're not talking about what's really the problem. We're not trying to fix the true problem. We're not trying to be accountable for our parts in our problem. We're not trying to heal from our trauma. We've just learned to deal with it and hope it eventually will just go away or we'll forget about it. It doesn't happen like that. You all are coming across women that have experienced so much bullshit in their life, and it's not even necessarily their bullshit. Trauma is passed on generationally. So the woman that you come across that seemed like she got it together day one, and by day 3 she done flipped the fuck out. You done seen 9 different people in her, 5 people inside of me trying to control my body. Is because she's dealing with generational traumas. She's experiencing or re-experiencing something that she has never gone through in the first place. When you ask her what's wrong with her, and she doesn't know. She doesn't know. She's just responding from what is in her. She's responding from a spirit, from an energy, from something passed on through her generationally in her genes now. It's genetic. Because now that shit has mutated. It done became connected to her genes now. She's not choosing to just be nasty. That's not by choice. That's by circumstance. Years, hundreds of years of circumstance. Not just what happened a year ago or what just happened a few minutes ago. It ain't that. Y'all think very shallow when it comes to us. Y'all think very shallow when it comes to the depth of a woman. Because we go deep. You will never fully understand the true depths of a woman. But you can get deeper if you dive in. You can go
That's
there.
right. You can get a lot deeper.
Dive in. And I'm not talking physically. I know you're not, but you got to remember other people are watching this and certain comments will show up on my, they'll say some shit. But you have to be willing to find out what kind of soil is she built on.
But Kim,
yes.
May I ask you a question? And I know what you're saying, and I've been through that, where I had to, like you say, find out what was going on with a young lady. This, some years ago, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But the bottom line is, my question is, how do you, these girls these days, I don't really be out there, whatever. These girls these days, they're not even in that same mindset, to where you can even, you can't even speak to them. So how would a person go about trying to find out what's going on deeper when people don't even get deep, into the deeper surface?
Because you start shallow. Sometimes to get deep or to get deeper, you got to start deep.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like we talked about many times what you get from a person from hello. You'll find out a lot about a person from hello. What's your first conversation? If your first conversation is about some bullshit, then your conversations are going to be about bullshit. You're going to be on a bullshit level. You know what I'm saying? Until you decide to dig deeper. And that's going to take a minute because you built your foundation on bullshit. So you got to go deep. Like I said, you got to ask questions that people don't ask. Go there. But we're afraid to ask those questions because most people ask questions with an intent already to receive a certain answer because they already plotted in their mind what they was going to do when they heard the go.
Right.
They listening for trigger words so they can do what they planned on doing in the first place instead of just listening and moving accordingly, just moving naturally. Don't plot on me what you think you're going to do when or if I say such and such. Because I'm going to fool your ass. I guarantee you, I'm not going to give you what you're looking for.
Right.
I know I'm judged wrong all the time. That's always been me. People misread me all the damn time. All the time. All the time.
Women can run a lot of interference with themselves and referee a lot of stuff and stop a lot of stuff by simply saying, hey, you're not getting no ass.
That part.
And see what this man does.
Immediately. Which is this,
what
is said at the beginning. Why are you speaking to me? From the beginning. Why are you speaking to me? What's your end game? What you trying to get out of this? Tell me from hello. What is it that you want? Because you're not looking at me from afar thinking, I know she's intelligent. She's got a great mind. I can tell by the way her head's shaped. No, that's not, that ain't what's on your mind. You know, you know what I'm saying?
It was your tatas or that ass or your skin or your hair. That was
exactly.
From the rip.
Exactly. But in your mind, because you have already based it upon what you see, now your mind is trying to come up with what a friend of mine says, the combination. How do I get there? What all do I have to do? What I got to say? What things I got to put together in order to unlock the box now? But be real with it.
I always just answer all their questions, and then once it's my turn, we never make it past my turn.
Okay.
That's how it worked for me. I answer all their questions, but then they can't answer mine.
They might not.
It goes south.
I'm sure, but because this is not what's normal. Like I said, we have gotten so used to being lied to that when the truth comes our way, we don't know what to do with it. You said women don't want to hear the truth. That ain't the case. It ain't that we don't want to hear it, it's that we ain't used to hearing it.
Right. Yeah, me and you can't had those conversations.
Exactly.
It's like amazing how much enlightenment you gave me on that, because it's like, okay, I meet all your standards, right? But okay, now do I listen myself and lower my standards because all these men messed you over all your life? I mean, I don't, I'm 56 years old.
Right.
I can't go backwards.
Nor
I
should
need to go
you.
forward.
Right. You're not expected to lower your standards. Not at all. You don't have to lower your standards. It's just sometimes you may have to dig a little bit deeper. You know what I'm saying? Be patient enough to dig a little bit deeper, because what you're getting, you got to remember, people operate in their representative. 99.999% of the time, who you meet is not who they are. Who you're meeting is not who they are most of the time, because people lie to themselves about who they are. Or people don't know that the representative even exists, because it's been there since birth. So they don't know that this thing is there pretending to be them. They don't know. So you have to dig deeper. You have to come up out of your representative and talk from Cedric's point. This is who I am. This is who I am when ain't nobody looking. And that's who I'm going to introduce you to. That brother that show up when ain't nobody looking.
I'm in my drawers.
Right.
Around the house.
Okay.
I'm riding down the road with butt-ass nigga. You know what I'm saying?
That part.
That's how I see it do it.
I hear you.
I'm going to give you the blood roll up front. That's what ain't no lie. What I'm lying for. 56 years old. I ain't had to lie about that.
But that's what I'm saying, though. We're so used to the lies that when the truth comes, it's like, what I'm supposed to do with that? What this is?
Exactly. Exactly. That's why I be like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So we got to change the narrative. We got to change what's normal. The truth needs to be normal. People want to still be out here playing games. Like, I ain't with that. I hear that all the time. Well, you got to play the game, girl. No, I don't want to play no games. And if I got to be involved with somebody that play games, then we're not going to be involved, because I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. It serves no point to me to play games. This is what you about to walk into. Are you ready? You know what I'm saying? This is what this is. This is what I'm bringing. This is what I'm doing. And this is what I'm not doing. What I'm not bringing. What I'm not going to, whatever. You're going to get that out the gate. Full disclosure is what it's called. Full disclosure. Make the decision based off the information, whether or not you're going to deal with it or handle it or whatever or not. But you got that up front. But we play too many games. Nonetheless, to get back and to wrap this conversation up, because we got 4 more parts at least. So y'all more than welcome to join every week that I'm on. To wrap it up, like I said, women, we got to get back to the point of, first of all, acknowledging that there is a representative going around pretending to be you. Okay, that's that one that would not allow you to look at all of your ugly. That would not allow you to acknowledge the things that are fucked up about you. That would not allow you to acknowledge that you even need to be healed. The part that you refuse to acknowledge is there because you don't like her, or because she makes you uncomfortable, because she makes you see and hear and walk in the truth. You have to acknowledge her, because that is who you are. You have to learn to love you. And the only way that you can love you is to know you and to appreciate you and to respect you and to be intimate with you. You got to be by yourself sometime in order to know who you dealing with when you are by yourself sometime. Love you. Love you. Acknowledge your bullshit. Acknowledge all your shit and then correct your shit. Don't just stay in it. Don't say this is my shit. That's it. That's just what it is. No, correct it. Don't keep walking in shit. You like stilettos. You can't walk in stilettos through bullshit. Okay? They don't go together because it'll heal. You know, you walking in heels through bullshit, you're gonna sink in the bullshit, pretty shoes and all. Okay? Yeah. So correct your bullshit. Acknowledge what your trauma is. Acknowledge the fact that you've been cut, that you bleed. Acknowledge that. And then speak on it. Tell somebody what's going on with you. And then acknowledge your part in the continuation of your trauma. If you're holding on to what cut you in the first place, you will continue to bleed. Everybody and nobody, I should say, nobody deserves your garbage. Nobody deserves you bringing all your baggage into another relationship. Nobody deserves that, not even you. You don't deserve to be carrying all these damn bags of trash. Put the shit out on the lawn and leave it there. It's another man's, your trash is somebody else's treasure. Let somebody else pick that shit up, but don't bring it with you. Throw it on the lawn and leave it alone. Throw it out. Get rid of it. There's nothing in it that's going to benefit you. And you already know that, which is why you have deemed it to be trash. Why hold on? Don't be trash collectors unless you're getting paid for that position. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Stacey says, never lower your standards, rather know them. That's right. Just because she seems angry doesn't mean that she is, but you'll know that she or he is your standard if you don't get to know him. Oh, wait a minute. Let me slow down. Just because she seems angry doesn't mean that she is, but you'll know that she or he is your standard, or you won't know if you don't get to know him or her. Don't count a person. Huh? She says.
Sometimes, I mean, you don't get an opportunity to because, you know, once you, it's just like the guy.
Wait a minute, hold up before you continue. Let me finish her thought. She says, don't count a person out until they actually reach those 3 strikes because we all make mistakes and deserve second chances. Absolutely. Okay, G, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm just saying sometimes, you know, a person won't allow you to, you know, because that's you, just like the guy was saying today. Say, yeah, man, you know, you try to speak to one of them and they come off all yada yada. You say, well, oh, my fault. Excuse me, I didn't mean to disturb you. Back to your ugliness. I'm gonna move on.
See, but all that part, it's that part that ain't necessary.
Just I know, but still, I'm just telling you how, you know, it's like you say, everybody is not young, and I know that people can't see, especially young ladies can't see that a lot of times because, like you said, they're so accustomed to the negativity, they're so accustomed to the bad thing and the bad occurrences, unfortunately. And I'm like, man, I just like to apologize. So, you know, I ain't had nothing to do with it because I'm not like that. But the bottom line is, like you said, you got to let it go. You gotta train yourself, just like you train yourself to hold on to it. You got to train yourself to let it go. Absolutely. So that you can be open and to a different or unusual, which is normal. You gotta let yourself be free to identify that which is normal, what you really want, because you're not going to really appreciate what you really want or what's really good for you. It's not going to come in the package that you think. Right. It's not going to come with somebody trying to screw your cousin or get your aunt pregnant, or, you know, it's not going to come broken, in other words.
Right. Yeah, that was a bit extreme.
Hey, Kim, I just still want to apologize to y'all women. There's a lot of good, strong women, beautiful sisters out there. I love them to death, man.
Indeed.
Love them. That deserve a good man once in their life. Indeed. You know, and I know it can't happen because, you know, the population and the, you know, what is it, 30 to 1 or something like that. So it's going to be a lot of lonely sisters who never get to meet that one good brother or that one man in their life. Yeah. And that's a shame. I feel for that.
Yeah.
I feel for that. But the two women I've married, I was a man for them.
That's what's
you
up.
know, my ex-wife that still stalks me to this day.
Okay.
But that's a different story.
Right.
You know about that, Kim. That's a different
right. It's all good.
Which is real funny. But it's still a different story.
No
but for
doubt.
y'all sisters out there who deserve, and I really feel for y'all, man, it's fucked up. It really is fucked up.
It is.
That sisters have never experienced that whole family connection, man-woman connection, where you think what she thinks and she thinks what you think. I mean, that's a beautiful thing.
Right.
Yes, it is. Beautiful thing.
Indeed.
Well, the same sisters haven't experienced that.
Right. Well, I definitely appreciate you all, for being here, for expressing your thoughts and sharing your experiences and being real. I appreciate that. And of course, I appreciate everybody who's still with me. The ladies, the gentlemen, my son showed up. What's going on, loved one? I appreciate you. DJs in the building. Thank you, loved one. I appreciate you for being here. But yeah, women, sisters, again, remind yourself. Let me remind you, as sister to sister, let me remind you. You are deserving of whatever it is that you want and need. You have to put in work also to receive what you want and need. It's not just about saying I deserve such and such and you acting a completely different type of way, because we don't do that either. Y'all know I'm real with you. You know I'm real with you, okay? Whatever it is that you want to attract, you must first be. Whatever it is you want to receive, you must be willing and able to give. It's got to be some reciprocity in there, okay? Honor yourselves first. Love you first. Know who you are first. You should be in love with you. If you are in love with you, then you will still have love to give somebody else, because you'll just be in your truth. You'll be walking in your truth. You'll be talking in your truth. People will see you in your truth. That, my dear, is love, the application of truth all the time. It never fails. It never changes its face. It never falters. It never gives a damn about how you feel. It ain't got shit to do with your circumstances. It is always what it is. It's always a fact. It can be proven by people who don't have sight at all. It can be proven by people who can't hear at all. It can be proven because it is a fact. Okay? Indeed. I love y'all so much. I swear I do. I honestly do. This is, like I said, this is just part one. For the women, it's time to heal. We got 4 more parts to go through. They're going to get more and more intense. I am imploring you and asking you all to make sure that you share these videos with other people. Bring folks in next week when we talk about it again. We got at least 4 more times, okay? At least. We are dealing with the emotional, the spiritual, the physical, the herbal, the physical, the financial, all of that. And I probably will go more into the historical. So we kind of touched on that today as well. It's always important for you all to know where things began, how they began. We can't go back and correct the history, but we don't have to repeat that motherfucker either. So you have the information. You have the information that you need. Please apply it. That's all I'm asking. Stacy says, I am greatness. I desire greatness. I exemplify greatness, and I will accept not less than greatness. I know that's right. You're very welcome.
Okay. Keisha?
Yep.
Yes, this is Keisha.
I appreciate you all.
I hope I helped you out. I hope I helped you out with that, Keisha. Going forward.
You did. I'm like Kim. Like I said, I have to heal within, because like I said, I did have a gun. I didn't put all that out, but I have to heal within. So that's what I'm telling people now, that I'm healing. And she taught me to say, I'm healing.
Absolutely.
Right.
Because
Don't let all them clowns in you like.
That's a command.
You sound like you got a good heart.
Absolutely.
Don't give it up so easily. Don't let these clowns destroy your soul. Don't do it.
Everybody is not worthy of your energy.
We are just. I learned that we exchange energy, and sometimes, like you said, you do feel drained after you don't mess with certain people.
Absolutely.
Like drain your soul or something.
Absolutely. We're gonna talk about that. Trust me. And we're gonna talk about it. Everybody does not deserve your energy. Everybody does not deserve your presence. Everybody does not deserve the right to even speak your name. Okay?
That's right.
And that goes for male and female.
And I'm gonna say good night. And I appreciate y'all men that came in this. Y'all kind of helped us, and women needed to hear y'all.
Right.
Now we know it's still some good men out there.
Exactly.
And it's hard to say there's some good men out here because I've been running into one, but I just found out I be picking them.
Right. So now you have to discover why you picking them. Now you have to figure out why you're picking them, and then stop.
That's true.
It's not a lot of good ones out here. I will tell you that up front.
Well, at least you agree with us.
But they do exist.
I be looking at some brothers like, what the hell are you?
Yeah. But they do exist. Some do exist. So we got to give it to those that do. All praise to those that fit the description, or those that are not quite there and want to be. Because they're there as well. You got to remember too. We got generations or an age of young men growing up, young boys growing up. So they still have a chance to grow up and be the men that we missed out on, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They got an opportunity, but they have to be taught by real men. Wow. They got to be taught.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kim, can I tell you a short little story?
Real short, because you know I'm getting off of him.
Yeah.
I'm going to say good night.
All right, Keisha. Thank you, loved one, for being here.
Yeah, thanks, Keisha.
You rest well, love.
25-year-old, right? Her boyfriends, I say the last 3 or 4 boyfriends she's had, she'll run them by me like the rest of the girls do. And, I give her the green light or whatever. And what's so funny is, she'll break it off with those guys. Those guys will have my number somehow. Okay. And they'll call me for advice 2-3 years later.
Wow. That's dope, though.
They've gone off and had, different relationships. They'll still call me without my daughter knowing about it.
Right.
About business or different things. And it's just crazy.
That's dope. That says a lot about
you. It's crazy what Vic. Good night, Vic is the newest one. He always, Mr. Golden, can I run something by you? I was like, wow, here you go again.
Yeah, that's dope, though. That says a lot about your character. So that's greatly appreciated and honorable. So we've been here long enough for the night. Again, I definitely appreciate you two on the phone, my 2 brothers. I appreciate you. And for everybody else that joined in this evening, I appreciate you so much. Y'all just don't even have a clue, though. Y'all don't really know. Y'all don't know. So I'm going to read Stacey's remark, and then we're going to close out. She says, yes, good and real men do exist. A lot make them look bad, but I have faith. They're there. I have faith in the thought and love all of them. Indeed. So what she's saying is, we know y'all out there. We know you out there, and we appreciate you. We love you, and we honor you, and we asking that you teach somebody, teach them, teach these knuckleheads how to be men. Teach these young boys how to be men. Let them see what a man look like. Let them hear how a man talks, how he walks, how he carries himself, and how he treats his woman. Not just his woman that he's intimately involved with, but the woman, that he respects the woman, period. Let them see that. We need that. So we appreciate you for being those examples. So on that note, again, we're going to wrap up. I appreciate you all. Make sure you all join me again on Monday for Melanated Monday, but don't forget to join us on Thursdays from 8 to 10 for On the Move Unscripted on Purpose. That's live on Blog Talk Radio, but I'm live on Facebook around 8:30-ish. with my girls, the ladies roundtable discussion. We talk about everything we talk about. So make sure that you are there. If you have not already purchased any type of anything from me, shame on you. But this shirt right here, this is the My Life Matters shirt. These are still available. I have them in several different colors. I'm letting these go for $12, and then we have the My Life Matters that are what's the word? Celebrating. There we go. Celebrating breast cancer survivors, and a portion of those sales is being donated to At the Table, nonprofit organization with deals with young girls and women. Women who have survived breast cancer, but it's for women and young girls. So again, that's At the Table, and your girl right here, DJ Deshaun Johnson, is the head of that. So make sure you get a shirt. Okay, get something. Support the movement. The statements are the movements. Okay, the statements are the movements. I am the solution on purpose. That's another one. And My Life Matters on purpose with purpose. As I love you always, on purpose with purpose. I will see you all Thursday, or I'll see you all Monday. All right? Peace.
Peace.
Peace.